Hey team, Simon here. Lisa just asked me to let you know, sorry the podcast's a bit late this week. We've had a hectic week because we had the Transfer 1/3 of Your Salon client event on Monday. It was huge and we had some great feedback. And then on top of that, we had Balinese New Year where everything shuts down. It's called Nepi, it's an amazingly spiritual time of year here in Bali. But Lisa's asked me to get this chapter out and also to put in a link to the replay of the Transfer 1/3 of Your Salon clients. It was a great event. We had a lot of positive feedback. And so if you're interested, in the show notes, I've put the link. We'll put it up for a little time. So I think we're going to have it up for the next 7 days. So yeah, tune in, watch it, and enjoy it. But now back to the episode.
Lisa here. Welcome to Salon Conversations. This is chapter 9 in the retail book. It's really good. I've just read it through and I've really enjoyed it. So the heading is In Your Crosshairs, what to aim for. So I feel like now more than ever, people are more sensitive, and I am too. It's not a judgment on whether they should be sensitive or not, but I do feel that now more than ever, the people we are working with need more praise than ever. I don't think I got much praise when I was starting out in the industry, and I didn't think that was unusual, different. It's just how it was. I wasn't used to it. I never have it in my family, my historic family, so I wasn't expecting it at work. So whenever my boss did say something or praise me, I went, oh, like I felt almost awkward. That's not how it is today. I can tell you that now. And you will get so much further with the growth of your team if you are constantly looking for a place to praise people. So that's the first thing I want to say. I think not knowing what their retail is or not knowing what any fact is in your business it's not healthy. Like, it's just a silly thing to do. And I don't think you'd get away with that in any other industry except the hair and beauty industry, because we're a bunch of sensitive souls, me included. And so the reason I'm telling you that is because so many times people go, oh, my team don't want to sell retail and they don't like doing the health check and they don't want to always be talking about numbers, and they've got many, many reasons why this is uncomfortable, and they're all, tapping and feeling stressed about it. And I'm thinking, that's not helping. That's not helping you in your business, and it's not helping your team members. So take that adjustment as in the old days, people didn't even look after people that worked for them, and now we do, but there still has to be some sort of understanding or metric as to what you are doing. The thing that happens all the time is everybody thinks what they're doing is better than it actually is. And I'll give you an example. You ask someone things like, do you go to the gym? Yep, 3 times a week. And they go, okay, so how was your gym yesterday? I didn't go. All right, that's interesting. You said you go 3 times a week. And what they're saying is, I intend to go 3 times a week, but I don't. It's the same as I don't eat sugar anymore. And I think, oh, okay. Or gluten, that's another one. No, I don't eat gluten. I think you're eating a pizza that doesn't look like a gluten-free one. So if you were to say something, I'd say, yeah, they didn't have gluten-free, so I'm eating it. Okay. So what you think you do and what you do are 2 different things. And I'm the same. And I will tell you I don't eat gluten, and I will tell you that I don't eat sugar, but I do. And I make exceptions. How often I make them is whether or not I get a bloated belly. So what people think they do, when you ask them, they'll tell you what they intend to do. And when it comes to retail, I go, yeah, my team are pretty good at retail. How many units a week do they sell? I think it's about, they've got no idea. They're just making up stuff. And so just let it go. But I really think that unless you can measure and name what it is, you can't improve it. But if you've got to put it down every week and you write 25 clients, number of retail units sold, and you put down 3, ow, that hurts, or 0, or 6, whatever it is, just write it down. Like, you have to know. You can't get unstuck or find your way if you don't know where you're lost. If someone if you'd ring up and say, I don't know where I am, I'm lost, I'm not sure if I'm here and there, and they'd say, well, where are you now? That's the first thing they'll ask you. Where are you now? So it's really important to know where you are. And when I talk to people and they go, no, it's fine, it's fine, I've got this. And this is what people will say to you. No, I'm good at retail. Okay. Or the worst thing they say is, I know. Well, you don't know, because if you did know, you wouldn't be in this position. So we have to manage people's responses and behaviors and feelings, and that's a lot, right? It's a lot. So go easy on yourself, go easy on them. But the greatest way is to be of service to your clients and a service to your team. And if you can use a more gentle and slower voice and you ask more questions, you don't go, you need to do this and you should be doing this and everybody needs to do this, and from now on we're doing this. No, that's not going to work. You probably tried it before and you know it doesn't work, right? The first thing you got to do is stop lying to yourself. Own it. Know what it is you do. If you look after 25 clients in retail and you sell 2 products, well, there you go. Now you know, that's it. Get over yourself. Don't beat yourself up. But the things that you don't want to look at are generally the things you need to do. The same as in yoga. Oh, I hate doing that. I hate doing the crow. And that's because I can't do it. If I could do it, I'd love doing it. And so this is the same with retail. They don't want to learn retail because they don't know how to do it. And if they realize it, if they learnt to do it, then they would enjoy it. And so the answer to everybody's problem in retail is to have a system. Have a system. Have a system where you ask these questions. Have a system where if you take the lid off something, you open the lid, you open your mouth. So there's so much that I can teach you about that. But you have to have a system that works every time, a system that means that everybody leaves with a sample. But you have to have a system, because leaving it to chance in our industry, well, good luck with that, because we're creative. I'd say every second one, if not more, has ADHD. They struggle to focus and we're all over the shop. But we're a whole bunch of fun and we know what we're doing. But if we just have this really simple system that says, this is what I do. When I put the wrap on, I ask them for their client details. When I ask to leave the room, to come back when they're lying on the bed, that's when I'm going to mention retail. So what we've got to do is have a system that attaches it to something that you just do. You just do it every time. And if you attach it to that, you've got a really good chance. I always take my morning medication with my coffee. So I put it on the coffee machine at night. Then I have to actually move it out of the way to put the pod in. Very hard to not take them, right? So we've got to teach a system. That's the most important thing. And in the chapter, I talk about, planning a reward. If you could gain an extra $400 a week in retail, which is so easy, you could do that. Then you could have a holiday to Europe. And I think, yeah, that's good. And I'm not saying that's the wrong approach, because it's nice to reward you for hard work, but get your retail to a really healthy level. You can have a holiday every year. Like, it's the right reason you do it, because it makes a business safe. It makes a team understand their real role. It's just the foundation of everything we do. So if you're doing it, and this is why product company reps and I struggle sometimes, because they want to give a kickback. For every product you sell this month, we give you $2. And so if you sell 20, you'll make $40. Woohoo! I just don't think it works. It might work short term. There's a prize or something, but it's called do your job, dickhead. Your job is to find out what problems people have and solve them. And you solve them with a service or you solve them with a product. Mic drop. That's it. You do. So you can skirt around it as much as you like, and you can make a reward system and that. But at the end of the day, if you as the business owner are not owning your part in the training of them, and that you don't recommend retail and you're expecting someone else to do it, good luck. You see it occasionally, but not very often. You are the ceiling. So if you can't do it, they won't do it. It's pretty simple. So it feels like that was a bit of a smack, but I care about you and I want you to have a business that will work whether you're there or not. I want you to have a business that's filled with loyal clients. And if you want that, you have to find out what people's problems are and solve them. And that is with a service or a retail. Don't hold back. You know so much. You're the expert. And you give clients an experience every time they come in. if it's a good experience or a fantastic experience or a life-changing experience, that's up to you. But whether you like it or not, they get an experience. And I talk about in the book about this girl. She was fascinating. And this is the proof that when you start small, she worked for a girl in another salon, which name escapes me. Katerina is her name. And she would have taught retail from an early age, from when they're brand new. And this girl was always nailing her retail. She was a colorist and she was really good at what she did. And she had a reputation for sorting out colors that were disastrous. And I asked her about why was she good at retail, and she snapped at me. And I thought, oh, okay. And she was sick of people thinking that she was a retail pusher or something. She said, you can't do a job properly if they're going to go home and ruin it. So she said, I'll make it up front and clear. She was quite short. If you want the results you tell me you want, you have to be responsible. Otherwise, why am I going to put my heart and soul into your hair to get you to leave beautiful to come back with it? You've ruined it. I'm not doing it. So she said, there's a responsibility, and I make it very clear that, yes, I can do this, but this is the parameters, this is what I can do, and this is what you need to use. And if you don't want to use these products and look after your hair, then don't give me your money, because it's a waste of time. And I thought, what balls. I wish all of you had that. Just say, this is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to be. It's the same as when you go in to have an operation, they say you have to fast. They don't say fast-ish or can you try and fast? You have to fast. It's really important that you do. And they quiz you all the time about whether you do it. Now, if anybody tells me I can't fast, I think we can. You just fasted for an operation, so you can fast. So start changing the way you think about yourself and your capabilities, and you'll be pretty amazed. There's not much you can't do. You just got to want it bad enough. And if you do, read on. Really pleased you're here listening, because I just can't tell you enough how important retail is. It changed my business like you wouldn't believe. And so I have a really strong connection with retail, because it's when I start showing up as a true professional and stop making excuses and hiding around my inability and the fact that I didn't want to do anything that was uncomfortable for me. And that was at the cost of my clients. And I don't do that anymore. I just think this is what you need. And I tell you what it is, and I do to the best of my abilities, and I do it with kindness, but I don't confuse being clear with being hard. I'm not being hard, but I'm being really clear. Work here and you'll never look back. I promise you. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one. Chapter 9. In Your Crosshairs, What to Aim For. In this chapter, I'll explain what to aim for when it comes to your retail sales. What's realistic and what's achievable when you have a clear focus. I've identified a common pattern across salons I work with. Knowing the pattern, I can now guess a salon's retail numbers with very reasonable accuracy within our first 15-minute phone conversation. The standout constant is that the salon owner thinking their retail is higher than it actually is. That's why I bang on about getting the statistics out of your computer and handwriting them into a weekly check-in sheet. Then the numbers sink in. When team members hit their target once, then they tend to think they hit it all the time. And once is not often. It's once. Consistent retail sales come from consistent client engagement. The thing holding salon owners back from retail sales is the same thing holding them and you back in general. It's affecting your business and your bottom line. Client engagement means a consistent, loyal clientele. Combine that with the basic business smarts and you're well on your way to having the salon business you only ever dreamed of. I've always felt a strong connection between a salon's culture and customer loyalty. Salon owners come to us for many reasons. Most put their hand up for help in one area or another. It could be finding staff. It could be that the owner is exhausted and feels she's the only one doing all the work. That if she physically isn't on site encouraging the team to do their job, it just doesn't happen. Engagement isn't there and the figures drop. When your engagement is missing in action, so are your retail sales. Yes, it's that black and white. It's why I won't let engagement or retail go when I'm coaching a salon and their team to be the best version of themselves. Retail sales figures have always been a measure of ours at Zing. When we're talking amongst the coaches about a salon, one of the first things we brag about is their retail sales. Why? Because that instantly tells us where the team's at, where they started when we met them and where they are now. It's a way of measuring the care factor. In other words, it shows whether they give a shit or not. Your retail sales figures show whether you give a shit. It's that simple. Hairdressing salons, beauty salons, spas and medical clinics are all different when it comes to retail. In simple terms, the higher end clinics have stock that is also at the higher end. Having said that, I've seen great results in all businesses, high end, budget and everything in between. It's all about who's leading the team, their beliefs and their ability to educate. Being a great operator is one thing. It's just one skill. But running a business with a team is a whole other ballgame. Most of you are doing it without ever having learnt how. That was me too. I was often running the day I opened the door without so much as a simple plan. Most of you are running a business without ever having learnt how. I coped by just fixing stuff when it went wrong. It's funny to think back on it now, but that's just what I did. Sometimes I fixed the same thing 100 times. It's madness at its best or worst. In hairdressing, wherever your retail figures sit at now, we can reasonably target to add another 10 units per week per stylist. And I mean every week. When I get the stats from salons interested in having us mentor them, most come under 10 units per week. We commonly see 6, 7, 2, and sometimes a naught. Naught units per week. Nowhere else to go but up from that one, guys. Once we engage your team, which can take some time depending on how focused you are, we can almost always add another 10 products per week to every team member. Actually, for us, it's not that hard. So 6 will become 16, 7 becomes 17, and 2 is now 12. It might not happen overnight, but it will happen. Have you noticed I talk in terms of product units rather than dollar values? That's for 2 reasons. Firstly, I want to teach you around problem solving for clients. If you're giving me a figure of 544 or 312, I can't tell what that comprises. Perhaps you've sold one straightening iron, which was $312, which is one problem solved for one person. Or perhaps you've sold 10 products at $30 by solving 10 clients' problems. What I want you to do is focus on the people that you solve, not the money that you bring in. Focus on the system. Some of the team have such serious blockages around retail sales, it turns into a tough gig. Many fire off excuses why they're not recommending or simply claim that no one is buying. Just another excuse. It's like fishing. If no one's biting, you get a better fishing rod or better bait, right? Same in the salon. You need to look at the effort, refine your technique, and think about what you're doing. You need to get serious about it. When you start to focus on retail, you'll find the changes start to happen. Numbers often spike upwards after a coaching session, then sadly, they dip back down again. And that's okay. You haven't quite got it yet. You just have to keep at it. Retail, like any other skill, you can learn, but practice makes it perfect. Think of the hours you put into cutting hair over and over again until you're confident. Sometimes we shift the coaching to another aspect of the business needing improvement, like developing a training plan for each team member, maybe a marketing campaign or even basin services. We find the retail performance drops off. It's as though the team can only focus on one thing. that juggling more than one ball is just way too much. And that's okay too. You just need to regroup, refocus, and go back to the system you committed to following to. Without a system, there is no way you will be consistent. It's so important. I'll say it again. Without a system, your retail sales will be inconsistent, period. Getting that into your head is the tricky part, and that's often where the biggest bullshit excuse of all emerges. I'm busy being busy. To change anything, you need to have a clear picture of what your goal looks like, rather than what you don't want it to look like. In other words, be motivated by the thing that you do want. Think about what it would mean to you to be ordering stock every week because it flies off the shelf. What if you were to lift your retail by $800 a week? You can, even in a smaller team of 3. You can. That would mean $400 a week in your pocket after your stock costs. If you put that money to one side each week, in a year you'd have around $20,000, enough to fund an amazing holiday. Why not think about where you'd like to go and make that your focus? Change your phone screensaver to a picture of New York, or stick one on the fridge and call it My Retail Escape Holiday. Maybe you dream of paying down your mortgage or credit card debt. It's your money and it's your choice. Just make your focus and transfer the money to an offset account where you can't easily withdraw it. Now we're talking. Certain brands attract certain people. I notice that salons in shopping centres do a lot of retail over the counter, meaning that people just walk in and ask for a particular product. They do this because the team of their regular salon, maybe yours, is forgetting to check how they're going with their products. You do all the educating and the other salon gets the sale. It's not very clever, is it? Once again, if you have a solid system in place, no one on your team will ever forget to check. Big global brands can attract clients to your store, and also prospective team members who want to work with those brands. Good operators often prefer the products they were trained in and will do their best work where they can use them to solve their clients' problems. Stocking a brand no one's heard of means you must educate every team member that comes into your business from scratch. Having them arrive with existing knowledge from a product range you stock is a wonderful bonus. It means they settle in fast and hit the ground running when it comes to recommending. Win, win, win for all. Baby beauty retail. The only way I know to describe lower end beauty is baby beauty. I'm referring to beauty salons doing waxing, spray tans, manicures and pedicures, some spa treatments and massage, maybe lashes and the odd makeup. Retail is trickier in baby beauty, especially if 80% of your work is waxing. There are very few relevant products to recommend to your clients: exfoliating mitts, after tan products and the odd cuticle oil. And these products are usually infrequent purchases. I've got a cuticle cream I love, but I've had it for 3 years now. Makeup, on the other hand, offers you more opportunity. I can't tell you how many things I have in my makeup kit. It's embarrassing. If you have people on your team who love makeup, the products will virtually walk out the door. Makeup is also a fabulous way to gather an after-hours crowd in your business. Bubbles and a makeup lesson will attract most girls, and some boys too. I realise for most of you, makeup application will be only a small portion of your services. You can invest lots of dollars to fill shelves with products that sits and gathers dust. It's one of the big challenges of baby beauty, as is delivering services in beauty rooms away from where the product is displayed. If you don't have the products with you in the room, ready to easily show your clients, the moment has gone and your clients are more likely to leave without their problem solved, and you're less likely to make the sale. The number of units being sold in a baby beauty salon can make up as little as 10% of the total takings. Often your girls will touch a lot of clients. 60 or more people might jump up onto that waxing bed in any given week. At best, they might sell 6 products a week. Are they missing opportunities? Yes, absolutely they are. But they also have to work flat stick to service that volume of clients. Perhaps you can explore other ways to recommend products around skincare, or maybe introduce other services and move away from this business model into that one that offers more opportunities. Retail in heavy-duty beauty. Heavy-duty beauty is the land of opportunity when it comes to recommending retail to your clients. How do I know? Because I'm your target market. I personally use A, B, C, and D creams or serums on my face. I joke that every night I wear an alphabet to bed. The potential here is almost limitless, yet there are still challenges in many clinics, and they're often to do with blockages. One common challenge is the therapists believe that their client has already spent big dollars on the service and will not be keen to drop another $200 on product. Retail in heavy-duty beauty can easily make up 40% of the total takings. The range of relevant products is staggering, and clients are often in the 30-plus demographic, where there's often more disposable income. I'm unsure of the exact figure I've spent on my skincare range to date. Suffice to say, if my house was broken into, I'd prefer the robber took my TV and leave my skincare behind. I don't watch much TV anyway, and keeping my skincare up to date is a considerable investment I happily make because I see the results. If you believe your clients would be better off with home care in the way of products, and who doesn't, you'll not only get results, you'll get them consistently. Your A-grade clients want your expert advice. In fact, they're craving for it. Here's an example. I started coaching a salon with a team of 10. 8 of them had typically average retail sales, very average. The other 2 had great figures, one of them exceptional. She worked about 3 days a week and typically looked after 18 clients over those 3 days. She was a colourist and very good at what she did. Of those 18 clients, about 16 of them had a basin service in any given week in, week out. Plus, she consistently recommended about 20 products a week. When I quizzed her about her retail being so high, she snapped my head off before I could finish the sentence. She later told me she thought I didn't believe her. Once she calmed down and realised I was in awe of what she could achieve week in, week out, she relaxed. Her response was priceless. She said, "I'm sick of people thinking I shove products down people's throats. I don't. I would never do that. But it doesn't make sense to me to not make sure they look after their hair at home. If I'm the specialist that I am, then I should do that, right? I'm very good at what I do. My clients travel for miles to have me sort out their colour disasters from people who are just guessing. And there are plenty of salons out there guessing, let me tell you. I tell them up front and I tell them straight that if they think I'm going to fix their hair here and let them go home without the right home care and ruin it, then it's a waste of time for them to give me their money. I don't want it." How's that for balls? She said, "I tell them up front that if you want to look like the girls in the glossy magazine, this is a partnership. I work on your hair and I tell you how you look after your hair in between visits using my products. That way, you'll never find yourself in the mess you were in today when you arrived." Listen to that confidence. Wouldn't you sit up and take notice of her too? Very impressed. Kick-ass Kickstarter. See your goal. Do a quick calculation for your salon. If you were to add 10 product units per team member per week, how many dollars would that put in your pocket over a year? What would you do with the money? What would that mean to you?